I'm Dr. Mark Student, and I'd like to thank ChiroSecure for giving me the opportunity to share what's going on in the chiropractic industry. I'm just so excited about it. Today, I'd like to talk about reputation, your reputation, and what I've learned over my 41 plus years in the industry is reputation is everything. But I'd like to start with two stories. First is my wife. My wife, unfortunately, had cancer three different times: 2008, 10, and 11. And we searched high and low for the right cancer surgeon all over the place. We went, and I'm in New York, so we went from Boston to New York to Philly to Washington. And if you can't find the right doctor in that corridor, you're in trouble. So we went all over it and ended up in Columbia Presbyterian Hospital with the right cancer surgeon. And by the way, she's doing great. She's wonderful because we had the right person. How did we find this person? Well, I looked him up. I actually called almost every specialist in this and got them on the phone and spoke to them. I was quite aggressive. I mean, her life was on the line. And I looked him up and I found out, he did all these different techniques. He won incredible awards. His CV, which I got a hold of, was robust. He had the right credentials. I didn't find him on a bus bench. I didn't find him on LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat, social media. I didn't find him from another friend who referred me, because what do people know? If you have a good experience, he's the best doctor. If you have a bad experience, you don't talk. I looked him up in a credible source, which is U.S. News and World Report, and his department was rated like third or fourth in the country, and that's an incredibly credible source. So I really vetted this person, and I said to myself, that's the right guy. And you know what? It was the right person, saved her life. And the things that he did was so different than anyone else, and he was wonderful. And that was the beginning of my journey to getting doctors or referral sources to run after chiropractors. And I've talked about this before. Why don't our referral sources run after us like we run after cancer doctors? And it's not life and death issues, because our patients, their life is upside down. Their function, they can't enjoy life. They can't work. They can't be with their kids. If they're in pain or anything else that occurs from issues that chiropractors help, why don't they run after us? And for me, it came down to reputation. Now, a friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine who's in his 70s, is an orthodontist, and he created a marketing business on getting the public to run after orthodontists. And he used Google reviews along with the reputation. Everything is about reputation, okay? He used social media, and he did, because what happened is he captured those people who were shopping. But it makes it a lot easier to capture shoppers when you're looking at high-ticket items such as orthodontics. When you're looking to capture shoppers in a social media scenario, a park bench, in years ago, it was Ben Penn standing in a field holding a spine, and you're looking to capture shoppers. You're getting people who really can't afford too much, and they're looking for bargains. You really want to find a referral source. And can you imagine if we tapped into medicine? Can you imagine? Medicine sees 98 to 99% of the population. We see at best maybe 7%. It's reported 10%, but I think that's inflammatory. How would you like to tap into that source? Now, I met with primary care doctors last week, and they said I could refer easily 20 cases a week to a chiropractor, because musculoskeletal, mechanical spine pain, or what they call non-specific back pain, which is absurd, it's always specific, which is a whole different conversation, is the fifth leading diagnosis, the fifth. And that's important when you talk to orthos, neurosurgeons, pain management. It's a high level of diagnosis. Why would they refer to you? Why? I don't want to reach out one at a time. I want high level cases. I love trauma care. I want to treat trauma cases. It's fun. I really enjoy it. But if you could tap into that, why would they refer to you? Well, the answer is simple: credentials. Can you imagine if you have similar credentials to the medical doctors? Can you imagine if your CV was robust? So let's look, what will they look at when they see you? Will they look at your website, which says drugs are horrible, or come to me because I can cure this, and vaccines are terrible, all these non-chiropractic issues, okay? Stay within your lane. Don't talk negative about something else. Stay within your lane, because the second you put something else down, your reputation is destroyed. Stay within your lane. Are you quoting the evidence in the literature? Look at your website. You have pictures of your family. Do you have pictures of you sailing, skiing, whatever? Look at your social media. You have pictures of you partying. All these things destroy your reputation. You know what I want people to see? Let's go to the website. Let's take a peek. Here's what I want people to see. When we look at this particular site, this is the Academy of Chiropractic site, and let's look. And by the way, we have had 194,000 people pop onto this site already, and it hasn't been up that long. Here's what they're looking at: Clinical Excellence Awards. They want to see doctors. Are you trauma qualified? There's hundreds of doctors around the country. They're all trauma qualified. And oh, by the way, all of this is searchable. And this helps build your reputation. The qualification is recognized through Cleveland University, Kansas City, College of Chiropractic. The courses are all approved and recognized through CE, through the State University of New York at Buffalo, Jacobs School of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, Office of Continuing Medical Education. It's all approved. All of these courses. Are you MRI interpretation qualified, which not only is approved through the DAC bars and the American College of Radiology, but again, the MRI interpretation is approved through Cleveland University and recognized. All the courses are recognized through the State University of New York at Buffalo, Jacobs School of Medicine. And you go down, look at this, all of these doctors, and we go on and on and on and on. Clinical Excellence Awards. Have you been afforded a Clinical Excellence Award? And if you have, let's look at Chris. And you click on it. You know what happens? It brings you to his CV, his curriculum vitae, which is posted on the U.S. Chiropractic Directory. Look at this. He doesn't talk about who he, and Chris is in Massachusetts, by the way. He doesn't talk about his hobbies, what he likes to do. I'm married. I have 17 children. No, this is his selected occupational history, education and licensure, postgraduate education. Look at all these courses he's taken. You're going to see meaningful courses: MRI spine interpretation, spinal biomechanical engineering, forensic documentation report writing. It goes on and on and on. Spinal biomechanics, more MRI spine interpretation, head trauma and traumatic brain injury. This is real stuff, folks. This is what your referral sources expect to see from you. They don't care that you can help people get well. You're supposed to help people get well. They want to know, can you manage your case? Can you manage your case? Now, it's interesting. I just showed you two sites that are searchable. And if we look in the U.S. Chiropractic Directory, see this number? 21 million people have looked here. 21 million. It's 21 million hits to that site. And if we go back, again, we're going to go back to look at individual CVs. I mean, that's one person. Let's look at Josh Johnston in Denver. Okay, I mean, you want to look, all of these things are searchable. You need to post your CV. Here it is again, in a similar format. You need to post your CV, and 4,600 people have looked at his CV because we manage those statistics. That's how you build your reputation. Is your CV in an admissible format, or do you have a resume? You've got to be careful. It's two separate things. You can go to the U.S. Chiropractic Directory. There's a CV builder on there. You can do that. Go there and look at someone else's and use that format. It doesn't matter. You need to build your reputation based on your clinical excellence. Now, the next thing is how do you get your referral sources to see your clinical excellence? Well, it's easy. What we do is a few things. Number one, we build a database of referral sources, whether it be lawyers or MDs or even patients. And every time we add a credential, and this is a credential, not letters after your name. This is MRI spine interpretation. Every time we add a credential, we'll email it to our referral sources and say, Dr. Josh Johnson from Denver has just been awarded a credential through the State University of New York at Buffalo School of Medicine in MRI spine interpretation. click here to see Dr. Johnson's full CV. Or we'll send a press release to the community if he becomes trauma qualified or MRI qualified. If you want to make your competition irrelevant, and really that's what it's about making your competition irrelevant. The way you make your competition irrelevant is to be better, to be smarter, and have verification of that in writing. And the verification comes on things like your CV, things like sharing these clinical excellence awards, okay? Sharing these things. I mean, there's a myriad of ways of being awarded these different things, and it's real stuff, by the way. Each course, like trauma qualified is 11 courses. Hospital qualified is 10 courses. MRI qualified is 8 courses. And they're real courses with real professors who are the best in the industry. And not just stuff that I have, but there's a lot of other folks in the industry who have really good stuff out there. This is the type of stuff you should be pushing. If you find yourself sitting in your office all alone, wondering where your next new patient's coming from, folks, you need to step up. You need to step up your game of clinical excellence. It is the only way to win. It's the only way. I can tell you by using this strategy that we have as of right now, and I'm not the only one doing this, but I'm giving you validation. 1,538,314 referrals as of August 1st, 2022, as of right now. So we've already gotten 1.5 million plus additional referrals into the chiropractic industry because our doctors have gotten clinically excellent, because we've positioned them in front of their referral sources. And the referral sources realize that they are the real deal. And that matters. That's a critical portion of the strategy. Now, another critical portion of the strategy is your patients. Patients, we have this incredible relationship with our patients. We're touching them, okay? We're touching their neck, their low back. We're adjusting them. We're connecting with them in a way that a surgeon won't, that most medical doctors don't. They rarely touch their patients. Some primaries do when they take your blood pressure, listen to your lungs, look in your ears, your eyes. But we have a physical, professional relationship with these patients, and they really like us as a most part. They stay for a long time. We have a great relationship. So it's been my experience that most of my patients were like family. I mean, they really care for us. And what I found was, and by the way, on the walls in my office, see behind me right here? Those are my diplomas from all of my clinical stuff that I've gotten. It's my chiropractic degree, my undergraduate degree, but when I get trauma qualified, there's a diploma up there. MRI qualified, there's a diploma up there. All my diplomas, they line my walls. And when I get a new citation, I have a database of all of my patients, and I'm emailing it to them also. And I hear all the time, oh, Dr. Student, my friend Mary said you are the most qualified person. She loves you. You talk to her. You're a great diagnostician. I got to find out what's going on. Now, that's another part of reputation. How do you manage cases? And this is something that's really, really important. I am an aggressive diagnostician. I am. And, I've learned that through the years, that I err on the side of doing tests on my patient. And I think I'm really thorough. And I find things that other people don't see. So let's briefly talk about what diagnostics. Well, when a patient comes in, I'm going to physically examine them and do a clinical evaluation. I'm going to take x-rays on my patients. I am. The politics that say, oh, x-rays don't change anything, you shouldn't do it. It doesn't move the needle. It doesn't change your outcomes. Well, that's nonsense. How do you know what's going on in that patient? Now, is it just about red flags? Fracture, tumor, infection, herniation? It's more than the red flags. What about spinal biomechanics? I treat spinal biomechanics. So do you. You were all taught about it. Atlas left, axis right, 2 times PIEX, ASIN. Those are all spinal biomechanics. How do you know where it is? The evidence in the literature has shown that motion palpation has failed. It's failed in intra-rater reliability. It's shown that X-ray hasn't failed. Now, also, X-ray is safe. It's going to cause cancer. That's all nonsense. According to the totality of the literature, everything, in order for there to be less than 1 in 100,000 incidents, less than 1 in 100,000 incidents of radiation issues, you have to have at least 100 millisieverts to have 1 in 100,000, which is minuscule in of itself. But a millisievert is a dose of radiation. A lumbar X-ray is, what's the number? I think it's 3.2 millisieverts of radiation. So, or 2.6, the number just flew out of my head. It's some way low number. But you would need to have 56 lumbar X-rays, and that's an accurate number, to have over 100 millisieverts. 56. Cervical, it's double that. And by the way, radiation is not cumulative. How many times have you, or anyone, and I'm in the game over 41 years, and I speak to doctors all over the country every day, how many times has a chiropractor taken 56 lumbar X-rays in one sitting? The answer is never. Ever, ever, ever. Or over 100 cervical X-rays. Never. There is no issue of radiation hurting a patient in diagnostic X-rays that we do in our office. Zero. So therefore, you need the evidence. You just need the evidence. And the necessity is to rule out anatomical and biomechanical pathology. You need to determine what's going on biomechanically. And from there, if there's a radiculopathic or myelopathic component, and most people don't, which is unconscionable, don't know what myelopathy is, it's cord compression with ensuing neurological deficit distal to the level of lesion, okay? That's what myelopathy is. So what we need to do is understand if there is a radiculopathic or myelopathic component. You do an immediate MRI, folks. Do not pass go. Do not touch your patient. You want to treat him palliatively? Okay. But if you deliver a high-velocity thrust there without knowing what's going on and that patient gets hurt, it's on you. Not only do you stand the chance of losing your license, because a licensure board holds MRI as the gold standard for that stuff, but you have it on you for hurting that patient. If a patient has pain radiating down their arm, the question is why? Why is the pain radiating down their arm? Do you know the answer to that? Well, I think they're subluxated. You can't go into philosophy then. Why? My experience tells me, well, guess what? Your experience doesn't know if there's a fracture, a tumor, infection, space-occupying lesion. You don't know anything. You're guessing at the patient's expense. So actually, and the insurance company say, well, we don't want you to do an MRI unless there are 6 weeks of conservative care. That's a bunch of crap. That's a money grab on the carrier side. So you need to step up, and the purpose of an MRI is to determine if a neurosurgical consult is clinically indicated. That's the purpose. So when I started and I changed my practice model and started being more aggressive diagnostically, my new patients went through the roof, because other patients started telling their friends, hey, this guy, this is reputation, folks. He's an incredibly thorough diagnostician. My family doctor missed it. The orthopedic just wanted to give me an injection. Then the pain came back. No one would listen to me. All they wanted to do was give me drugs and cover it up. This Dr. Student, found out what was wrong with me, and they said, and the patient would come in and say, my friend Mary said that you found out what's wrong with her. I'm in pain. Help me. And you know what? We went through our typical protocol, and my reputation changed. And you know where that reputation came back to? The neurosurgeons. And guess what? I started getting referral from the neurosurgeons. You know what the neurosurgeons told me? And by the way, when I met with the neurosurgeon, you know what we talked about? We talked about slice acquisition sequencing of the MRI, of how thick the slices are, and that's it. And as a matter of fact, a young man in Austin, Texas, Aaron Smith, met with an orthopedic surgeon, and the ortho surgeon said, only give you 5 minutes. And the ortho surgeon wanted his referrals, so he wanted to meet with him. He went in, and Aaron spoke to the ortho 45 minutes, and they too, all they talked about was slice acquisition and sequencing. And that was all they talked about for 45 minutes. The ortho turned around and said the same thing to him that the neurosurgeon said to me. I love chiropractic. I haven't found one smart enough to work with. he got over 150 referrals from that one orthopedic surgeon that year. And then he met with the neurosurgeon and had a similar experience. And this is happening all over the country. So it's about your reputation. And reputation is built on clinical excellence. Clinical excellence is built on knowledge. And that's what's going to move the needle in chiropractic. It's not a race to the bottom in $12 adjustments. It's not a race to the bottom to talk about chiropractic as it's a religion. There is so much evidence in the literature right now which explains exactly how chiropractic works. There's so much evidence. You need to learn it. You need to research. You need to not necessarily research, but take courses where they talk about research. I mean, there are many people out there. We do it at least 2 to 3 times a year. We talk about the evidence. We know exactly the mechanism of the chiropractic adjustment. We know what happens when there is bone on nerve, and there is bone on nerve, folks. It's not in the nerve root. It's actually on the facets, the nociceptors, and then you've got the joint capsules around it, which affects the Pacinian corpuscles, the raphe corpuscles, the Golgi ligament organs, and nociceptors, which make up the joint capsule, which are your mechanoreceptors. And that's all in the evidence in the literature. So when a bone goes out of position and the facets malalign and it buckles, then you've got a little spacer in there, a little plica, a little spacer. It goes out of position and you get bone on nerve. And you know what? I've explained that to orthos, neuros, neurosurgeons, primaries, pain management. They go, my God, where do you practice? We have to send patients to you. I have to tell you, my phone rings multiple times a week. This one referred me to you. That one referred me to you. I haven't had an office since 2006. Okay, it's been 16 years since I had an office. My phone rings. They find me, build it and they will come. That, folks, is reputation. That's what reputation looks like. You have the evidence on paper on your CV, a real CV, an admissible CV. It's posted on your website. Talk about clinical stuff on your website. Do not, on social media, get rid of the party boy stuff, get rid of the vacation stuff, the family stuff. It sounds great, it sounds wonderful, but that's not who you are. People are looking for you there, and they want to see, who am I going to, okay? That's the reality of it. You want to ensure that your credentials are pristine. Go out and get them. There's a lot of places to do that. I showed you 2 places through the Academy of Chiropractic. Go to teachdoctors.com. That's an online academic site where you can learn all about this. So, folks, there's a lot going on in this industry, and it's happening with you or without you. And it's a commonplace, and we just, I work with doctors in 49 different states. I lecture to lawyers in 39 different states. I lecture to neurosurgeons, orthosurgeons, neurologists, pain management, all over the country. It's not uncommon for a doctor to go from 3 to 50 new cases a month. It could be PI, workers' comp, non-PI, whatever you want it to be. It doesn't really matter. You get to choose the type of practice you have, but it must be based on your clinical excellence. If it's not based on your clinical excellence, you're going to be just like everyone else out there, and we're making you irrelevant. We're making the competition irrelevant. You're either the competition who's going to go down, or you're the one who's going to go up, and it's purely based on your clinical excellence. And folks, that's what reputation building is about. I could talk about this for the next, half hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, take your pick. But you understand the basics. If you want to call me and chat about it, I'm most pleased to do that. My personal cell, 631-786-4253. So if you have any questions, it's 631-786-4253. It's my pleasure. So my goal is to inspire the chiropractic profession through clinical excellence. That's our tagline, and that's exactly what I choose to do. So, folks, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me today. Again, I don't know how I could ever thank ChiroSecure enough for giving me a platform to share this material with you. I'm Dr. Mark Student. I look forward to seeing you the next time. Thanks. Have a great day.